Coming up on Mountain News this morning, police investigate a wrong-way crash that ended the lives of 3 people here in our region. And an Eastern Kentucky Police Department organizes and executes a major drug bust, tackling the drug crisis head-on.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning, I'm Keaton Hall. Dakota Makers is off this morning, so no Dakota in the morning today, but we do have Cameron in the morning, so let's throw it over to him and get a look at the weather.
It's not the same ring to that, is it?
It's close. It's not bad.
Well, this morning we are tracking more showers across the area, and those are going to continue into this afternoon, and a significant threat of flash flooding is possible later on today as well, especially once you factor in the rainfall we had yesterday and the rain that we still have yet to fall today and later on this week. We are concerned with possible flooding across the mountains today. Here is a look at Whitesburg this morning. All is quiet in Letcher County. Current temperature at 70 degrees, 73 for Jackson and Hazard and Prestonsburg this morning, 72 for Pikeville, 75 in Somerset and London, also 75 in Monticello. Up on Pinpoint Doppler, we already have showers and storms that are developing across the mountains. One over portions of Knott County near Hyman. If you were traveling along the Howard Rogers Parkway this morning in Knott County, be sure to give yourself plenty of time because these showers are heavy in spots. Same story in Jackson County near McKee, also along Highway 421 there. Some heavy rainfall is falling. Now, as we go through the rest of today, more showers and storms are likely. Temperatures middle to lower 80s, and we could see some heavier rainfall, and that could lead to some flooding issues in spots. I have that complete forecast coming up in just a little bit. Keaton.
Thank you, Cameron. 3 people were killed in a violent crash in southern Kentucky late Monday night. Police in Laurel County say it was caused by a wrong-way driver. That driver survived and is now facing charges. WYMT's Phil Pendleton talked with investigators about what led to the crash.
Drivers on Interstate 75 south of London saw something bad about to take place where a Toyota truck was headed.
We received numerous calls of a wrong-way driver on I-75.
Then about the 38-mile marker near the Highway 192 exit, the truck collided with a Nissan Altima, killing all 3 people inside.
It was just a catastrophic crash. I mean, debris everywhere. You couldn't even make out what the vehicles were.
Coroner says all 3 were from the Chicago, Illinois area. They were identified as cousins Deshaun Love and Kevin Kriegler and Elia Dukes. All were 25. Police say 21-year-old Joshua Poor was driving the Toyota truck that caused the crash.
We have the driver in custody. He is at UK Med Center in serious condition but not life-threatening.
A lot of questions on why Poor was headed the wrong way.
He's had to either got on the interstate the wrong way or made a U-turn on the interstate, and of course we're going to look at all of those to try to determine why he was there at that given time.
Poor is also from Clovis, California. Investigators say that it's not clear why he was in Kentucky. In Laurel County, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
Charges are pending against Poor, and police say he'll be served with a warrant. One person is dead following a crash on the Cumberland Parkway in Pulaski County yesterday. Kentucky State Police troopers say around 2 p.m. yesterday, they were called to a 3-car crash between Somerset and Nancy. Michael A. Fillmore of California was killed after losing control of his car and hitting another car driven by Roy Nicholas of Nancy. A Freightliner was also involved in the crash. Everyone else involved escaped with minor injuries. An autopsy is scheduled for Fillmore in Frankfort at the State Medical Examiner's Office. The crash remains under investigation. John Stacy, the man charged with murder and assault for a series of incidents in Pulaski County, is expected to be in court today. Police say Stacy assaulted a woman and held her against her will before shooting and killing someone on Paradise Lake Drive. He's charged with murder, attempted murder, burglary, assault, and kidnapping. He's expected in court at 1:30 this afternoon. The Pikeville Police Department organized a drug roundup Tuesday focused on more than 20 suspected drug dealers around the area. 4 teams of officers and EMTs gathered at the Appalachian Wireless Arena where the command center was set up for an operation all about cleaning up the streets. Following up on 28 sealed indictments, officers say they were tackling the drug crisis head on, continuing a mission while honoring the work of people like fallen officer Scotty Hamilton, who was killed on a drug-related call in 2018.
That incident was all involving drug activity, drug trafficking, and it was just an unnecessary event that happened because of drugs. That made us want to do a better job at enforcing our drug laws around here.
The officers say missions like this are even more tense after the Allen shooting on June 30th, but they keep moving forward in honor of the call those officers were answering on their final days. There's a fundraiser happening today for a Floyd County deputy injured in that tragic ambush. The benefit lunch is planned from 10:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. in front of the old courthouse in Floyd County for injured deputy Darren Lawson. He's been recovering in the hospital since that night. 3 officers and a canine died in that ambush. Those with Shriners Children's Hospital are hoping the help of donations will let them continue their health care services in Lexington for decades to come. Hillbilly Christmas in July raises money through community engagement and an annual bike ride here in eastern Kentucky. And it's all for the children at Shriners Hospital. The organization donated $65,000, and with the help from Gerhardt Communications, another $10,000 was added.
When you come down to this hospital, I made a few trips before we got Hillbilly Christmas in July started, and when you see the kids, nobody has to tell you what you need to do. You just jump in and do it.
The goal is to raise a total of $1 million within the next 3 years for the organization's 20th anniversary. And officials at the hospital say 70% of the funds hospitals use from the philanthropies and donations, so something like this goes a long way. It's no secret that these mountains have produced some of the most beloved singers and songwriters out there, and now one Corbin musician is getting recognized for her own talents in a place that highlights some of the greatest artists of all time. WYMT's Alyssa Williams has more.
For Corbin native and singer-songwriter Sydney Adams, a love for country music runs deep.
Country music is just a part of who I am. I didn't realize it at an early age, but when I started getting guitar lessons and getting to sing and write my own songs, it just kind of poured out of me.
That love began in her teens, and after a decade of writing music and performing across the country, Adams was selected as the 2022 Kentucky Music Hall of Fame and Museum's Artist in Residence.
I feel like I'm always working, so just to get that little bit of recognition in return at such a great honor, is a really big deal to me personally, so I was very excited.
Selected by the Hall's board out of countless other artists, Adams will get the opportunity to perform at the Hall's museum every month and even sing My Old Kentucky Home at this year's Hall of Fame induction ceremony.
With Sydney, it ended up being a match made in heaven, I kind of want to say, because her poise and elegance and her musical style just really fit the family and the nature of the Hall of Fame that we have here.
Adams says she feels like this recognition will not only help her career, but help her share her love of country music on a larger scale.
Country music is kind of who I am. I don't want to do anything else. I've tried several things. The only thing that makes me feel like my true self is getting to perform and write and do what I'm doing. So I'm going to keep doing it.
Hoping to strike a chord with country fans and keep doing what she loves in the place that will always be home to her. In Mount Vernon, Alyssa Williams, WYMT Mountain News.
Adams says in the future she'd like to be an opening act for an artist on tour. You can find her music on YouTube and any other streaming service. One of the longest running fairs in the country is celebrating a milestone. This year, the Tazewell County, Virginia Fair is turning 150 years old. Since its beginning, the fair has only taken 1 year off in 2020 due to the pandemic. Fair organizers say they have special events to commemorate the fair's big birthday.
we'll be decorating with quilts and the different things that will depict the years that we've gone through all these years.
The Tazewell County Fair runs from August 2nd until the 6th at the Tazewell County Fairgrounds. Tickets are going to cost $10 per person. Just ahead this morning, a famous musician prepares to host a few benefit concerts to help people over in Montana recover after some serious flooding.
And we are also watching out for some flooding as our severe weather alert day continues. I have that full forecast coming up.